Sure.
Thank you.
Mask.
What I was suggesting is, you can come closer. They all can come closer. Even you all can come closer. Only this chair, the one who is sitting here will not be able to see me clearly. Here, yeah, because this will block. So you can sit here. Rinab, and keep it here somewhere, or here maybe. Can I have one copy?
Sure.
बस
आप सबके तरफ से हमारे इलाके में स्वागत करके टीका लगाएगी कुमकुम का। हमारे कुमकुम ले जाओ। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। 11 मंदिर सेवक से अजित परिवार दृष्टि से आरोग्य में आशीर्वाद
Thank you.
चलो 7:45 થઈ ગયા શરૂ કરીશું આપણે। मुझे 10 મિનિટ અમે થોડીક નાની મીટિંગ કરવા જઈશું।
હા,
હું 10 મિનિટ માટે મીટિંગમાં જઈશ।
હા, ચાલો,
થોડું કામ માટે
ચાલો। It is begun.
ગઈકાલે જે મીટ ગૂગલ મીટમાં ચાલુ કર્યું હતું ને એ ચાલુ નથી કર્યું આજે
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। So, yesterday we saw that this entire creation is sustained by dharma, by different laws. There are laws in every field, and similarly, there are laws pertaining to ethics, to morality. And these are the laws, dharma, which we call in scriptural language. It is this which upholds the creation. And when our life is in compliance with these laws or dharma, then we are in tune. Then we are in tune with Ishvara. And in that case, our mind will be free from conflicts. Our mind will be free from all kinds of complexities. And when we go against the laws, and we had mentioned yesterday that the basic law or the common sense law is something we all know without anybody having to teach us. And what is that? That just as I like to be happy and I don't want anybody to come in way of my happiness, similarly, others also like to be happy and they also don't want anybody to obstruct their happiness. So naturally, what I expect from you becomes dharma for me, becomes dues for me. And what I do not want you to do to me becomes adharma for me, becomes don'ts for me. In short, we live happily and let others live happily. This is common sense dharma. And when our life is in tune with this, then there is harmony, not only outside but in our minds. And whenever we go against this, immediately there is conflict in our mind. There is a sense of guilt in our mind. Yesterday we gave certain examples. Supposing we speak a lie. We are aware of that, but still deliberately, for certain selfish ends, when we speak lie, we may get away with it. We may get some external benefit also out of that. But inside I know that I have done something wrong. And that immediately creates a guilt. That guilt constantly keeps on speaking that what you have done is not correct, not correct, not correct. It begins to accumulate. And all such sense of guilts, conflicts, they all accumulate in my mind. In short, it takes away all my peace. I may gain something by violating a law, say truthfulness, say violence. I may gain something. Some passing gain may be there, but my mind is affected. My mind is definitely affected by this, in the sense that it is not at peace with itself. It is already divided. It is already split. There is a knower, doer split in the mind. Knower knows one thing, and it knows that it should have behaved properly, it should have spoken truth, but the doer doesn't do it. So there is a rift in the mind. This takes away all my peace, all my happiness. When this is very clear to me that by following values, I am actually at peace with myself, and going against the values, I am going against myself and my happiness. So values can be followed only and only when I know the value of that value as valuable to me. When I know the subtle gains that I derive, subtle gains. Definitely there are subtle gains which I derive from it. I must be very clear about what I gain by following values and what I lose by transgressing them. If I know this, then following a value will become easy for me. In fact, it will become choiceless, because I know that when I transgress a law, my mind is not going to be at peace with itself. So when this is clear, we can follow, and our mind is a mind will be a simple, pure, integrated, together mind. And this is the kind of mind which is required for knowledge of the self. See, our goal is knowledge of Atma, knowledge of the reality. But when can that happen? When are we furnished or equipped to gain the knowledge of the self? See, understand, knowledge of the self is something which is very, very subtle. Although I am already the self, I am already Atma, but I do not know this today. I am not aware of this. In spite of being the self, which is all pervasive, which is all complete, which is all of the nature of happiness, today I have no benefit of it. Because I am ignorant about what the reality is. What is the nature of the Atma? I don't know this. And
June 4th, 2022.
And to know this, I require a very pure and prepared mind. As we discussed yesterday, that for any knowledge to take place, mind should be prepared for that. Mind should be prepared. There are certain qualifications required in the mind to know a particular field of object, particular object. For any field, say for instance, if I want to take up the branch of science, then my mind must be furnished with that kind of knowledge. For arts, some other kinds of qualifications are required. Similarly, for the knowledge of the self, what is called for is that the very first or primary requirement is that it has to be pure. It has to be it has to be one which has assimilated values, which is one with dharma. Because we want to know the self. And the medium for knowing should be appropriate with what we want to know. See, for instance, if we want to see the stars or the constellations in the space, what do we require? We cannot see with this eyes. With this bare eyes, we cannot see those stars and constellations, etc. What do we require? We require telescope, etc. Those kind of instruments are required. Or for instance, when we want to see an amoeba, you can't see again with a telescope. For that, you require a microscope or some such thing. In short, the medium through which we are trying to see something, trying to understand something, must be in tune, must be eligible, must be in keeping with what you want to know. Atma, or the reality, or Ishvara, call whatever you want, is extremely subtle. It is all pervasive. For that, the Kathopanishad says, Esha sarveshu bhuteshu gudotma na prakashate. Atma is as if today hidden, even though very much present, but I don't know what it is. So, for that, how will you know the Atma? So, Upanishad says, Drishyate tu agraya buddhya sukshmaya sukshmadarshibi. It can definitely be seen, means understood, but by a mind which is extremely subtle, which is extremely sharp, which is extremely pure. It is with this kind of a mind that I can come to know the self, or Ishvara, or Brahman, or reality. So you understood? This is the kind of mind that is a gross mind, full of likes and dislikes, full of jealousy, full of violence, full of abusive behavior. This is not the kind of mind which can ever come close to the self. Forget it. It is not possible. Supposing when I want to know what love is, then I must be lovable. My behavior should be like that. Similarly, through the corridors of hatred, I cannot come to know what love is. Understood what I am saying? Similarly, when I want to know the self, Atma, or Ishvara, or Brahman, mind also should become like that. Mind also should become like Ishvara. Mind also should become, relatively speaking, like Atma. And what is Atma? All pervasive. Atma is all accommodative. There are no biases, no divisions, no discrimination as far as the self is concerned. So mind also has to become like that. And for that, Bhagavan sees the need that mind, if it is furnished or equipped with dharma, with values, with certain attitudes, then only it will become ready, it will become prepared, it will be prepared to gain the knowledge of the self. You understand the need for values? Okay. I would also go to the extent of saying that let aside the knowledge of the self. But our goal is not supposing the knowledge of the self. Let aside that. But even if we want to become happy in life, happy in our day-to-day life, for that also, if the mind is very complex, if the mind has many, discrepancies, if the mind is impure, full of insistences, full of very, very strong likes and dislikes and complaints, this mind has difficulty in deriving happiness in day-to-day life also. This mind cannot derive happiness from relationships also. It will immediately have problems. So, there is no choice in imbibing and knowing the values. Understood? So, here the values which we are going to discuss are with reference to Bhagavad Gita, and that too with reference to chapter 13. Because in chapter 13, the 13th chapter begins with Arjuna's question, as we saw yesterday. And he asks of Lord Krishna 6 things. At the beginning of the 13th chapter, he is asking of Lord Krishna that, please, O Lord, I would like to know from you 6 things. What are they? What is Purusha? What is Prakriti? What is Kshetra? What is Kshetrajna? What is Jnanam? What is Gneyam? These are the 6 things which he wants to know. Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha means consciousness. Purusha means the one who abides in this body. That is consciousness, the self. He wants to know that. Prakriti means matter. He wants to know that. Then third thing, he wants to know Kshetra. Kshetra is same as Prakriti. Kshetra is that which is our object of knowledge. So he wanted to know what is Kshetra, because Bhagavan had used these words. So now he wants to be clear about them. What does these words mean? Then fourth one is he wants to know what is Kshetrajna. Kshetrajna means one who knows the Kshetra. Kshetra means whatever we come across, whatever is the object of our knowledge is called Kshetra. And Kshetrajna, Kshetram janati iti Kshetrajnaha. One who knows the Kshetra is called Kshetrajna. So what is Kshetrajna? Here Atma, Jivatma, the self is Kshetrajna. Self or Atma is Kshetrajna. 4 things. Then 5th one, he also wanted to know what is Jnanam and Gneyam. Now, by Jnanam, even though he asked what is meant by Jnanam and what is meant by Gneyam, Bhagavan, out of the 6 things, proceeds to talk first about Jnanam. In 13th chapter, out of the 6 things, he first talks about Jnanam. He briefly talked about Kshetra and Kshetrajna and then began to talk about Jnanam. But be very clear, by this word Jnanam, what is meant is not Atma, but what is meant are the values. But Bhagavan gives the values, the status of Jnanam. When Bhagavan, now we will be seeing that, he will be talking about Jnanam. But here, what Jnanam is meant, by Jnanam, what is meant are the values, which means the means. See, Bhashyakara writes, Yasmin sati tad jnaya vijnane yogya adhikruto bhavati. When the values are present, that when is present, then the knowledge will take place. That is called Jnanam here. So Bhagavan proceeds to talk about the means which are required, mainly the mind, and what makes the mind fit for knowledge. Those values, how many values? 20 values. In chapter 13, beginning from the verse 7 to 11, these 20 values are mentioned. And the first in the list is Manitvam, Amanitvam. So let us read the first verse. So that is verse number 7 in your copy. I am reading, you repeat after me. Amanitvamadambhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyopasanam shaucham स्थैर्यमात्म विनिग्रहः. See, one by one, Bhagavan is giving the list. These are the values required. And which is the first one? Amanitvam. Amanitvam, as we will be discussing, is absence of pride, absence of conceit. Then Adambitvam. What is Adambitvam? Absence of hypocrisy. Then third one, Ahimsa. What is that? Non-violence. Then Kshantihi. Kshantihi means not Shanti but Kshantihi, which means accommodation. Then Arjavam. Arjavam means straightforwardness, simplicity. Then Acharya Upasanam. What is this? Acharya Upasanam means reverence for the teacher, seva of the teacher. Then Shaucham. Shaucham means cleanliness, mainly inside, means of the mind. Of course outside also, but mainly he will be emphasizing upon cleanliness of the mind, purity of the mind. And then Stairyam. Stairyam is steadfastness. Then Atma Vinigraha. Atma Vinigraha means self-discipline. So in this verse, these many values are mentioned. But the very first one is what? Amanitvam. See, in this values, particularly in Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, we have to give up something. In certain values, what is called for is Tyaga. In Amanitvam, we have to give up what? Manitvam. In Adambitvam, we have to give up what? Hypocrisy. Ahimsa, what have we got to give up? Himsa is what we have to give up. We have to renounce that. So, in these certain values, we are required to renounce something. So, let us first see Amanitvam. What is this Amanitvam? The word is, the main word is Mana. Manaha. What is this Manaha? So Bhashyakara very beautifully, Maninaha bhavaha manitvam. Manaha, the Sanskrit word is Manaha. Manaha means self-respect. Manaha means self-esteem. It is derived from the Sanskrit root ma. Ma means to measure. Ma means to measure. See, Manaha means self-respect, but there I have already measured myself. I am so and so. I am a doctor. I am an engineer. I am a CEO. So and so. So my perception, my understanding about myself is that I am this much. So Manaha means I have measured myself. I have actually bound myself in a certain boundary. I am this much. Okay, apart from that, Manaha means self-respect. And into that, Tvam is added. Manitvam. What is this Tvam? It means self-exaggeration. Some kind of expectation for self-respect that others should little bit self-respect is necessary. But when it is exaggerated, When it amounts to self-worshipfulness, then it becomes a very big obstacle. Manitvam means that I respect myself, but I want you to respect me in the manner which I see myself. If I have certain ideas about me, that is fine. But I want you to certify that I am so and so, that I am really great. In your eyes, I am seeking confirmation. In your eyes, I am seeking a confirmation. I am myself not sure about it. I am myself, if I am great, okay, fine. Why should I want it from you? Why should I want that respect from you? Or why should I want you to tell me that no, Swamini ji, you are great. If I am fine, I am happy with it and sure about it, I don't need it from you. But when we analyze this, if we look minutely into this, we will find that since I am not sure about myself, I have a doubt about me, about my qualifications, I need support from you. I need you to tell me that I am great. Then only I feel good about myself. Understood? To feel good about myself, to feel comfortable with myself. Today, Manitvam means I need it from you. I need that confirmation that please help me accept myself. Only when you respect me do I feel good. You may ask, what is wrong with that? What is wrong? But it is totally a wrong bargain. There is nothing but loss in this. When I demand that respect from you, what happens? My remote control of happiness comes in your hands. I want you to praise me for whatever qualifications I have. I want you to praise me. In that case, what happens to respect me? In the glorified light in which I see myself. In that way, I want you to confirm, to express, to make it evident that you respect me. But what happens? Is the demanded respect always met with? Tell me. Why always? More often than not, the respect which is demanded we are not given that. More often than not. When we demand something from others, it is not going to happen that they will give it. Why? Because understand, even if they respect me, supposing, they may not express it. They may have their moods, they may have their whims, they may not express it, even though they may have some respect for me. One thing. Second thing, when I demand respect from others, and this is not always spoken in so many words, but inside there is this desire that they should express their respect for me, must give me a seat, must do this for me, must do that for me, keep on applauding me all the time, patting my back, etc., etc., etc. But then what happens? I am paving a way for hurt, because it is not going to come on my terms, On my terms and conditions, it may come, it may not come. Because the other person from whom we are demanding that respect, they have their own needs. They have their own demands. I may demand respect from you, but supposing you also demand it from me. It is tug of war. Understood? You also demand from me, and I also demand from you, but both are proud. Who will give first? Sometimes we wait. If they call me, then I will talk to them. If they look at me, then I will look at them. If they call me, hi, hello, etc., then I will do. Otherwise, I will ignore. I will not look at them. But I'm conscious of them. In the party, etc., we are very much conscious of certain people, but will not go towards them. Why? Because they should come to me first. Both the sides it is like that. So they have their own demands, which they want me to fulfill. And I also want them to fulfill my demands. Respect may be there, mutual respect is there. In the qualifications, some qualifications are there, so we know that. But we will not express it, because I have my own demands. And which when not met, I will also reject the other person. There is so much of rejection in our interactions with people. We reject them. Why? Because we are not given. I was not called in your party, so I will not also call you. You did not look at me. You did not say hi, hello to me, so I will also not do that. So understand, demanded respect hardly ever comes in my own terms. It hardly comes. And even if the other person respects me, may be jealous of me, who knows? He is competing with me, my rival. So inside, he really respects or has high regards for my qualifications, but will not. Why? Because now I am his rival. So once upon a time we were good friends, but today we are competing. So that will not come forth. That will not come forward from them. So again there will be hurt. There is constant friction between two such people. Whenever we demand, see, respect is not to be demanded. It has to be, it comes, it is to be commanded, not demanded. And if I am sure of myself, supposing, if I am sure that I have certain qualities, then I need not want that certificate from you. Supposing we are driving since past so many years. We are driving. Then I don't want you to tell me that you drive well. And I have been driving for 50 years now. I don't need that certificate from you. I am sure about it. Supposing I pronounce my name very well. Do I want you to tell me how well you pronounce your name? Now my name is difficult. Paraprajnananda, something like that. Our teacher's name is Vidya. Nobody pronounces it correctly. Even though they are with him for so many years. But he himself will pronounce Swami Vidya-Atmananda. But then what? Does he need any applause for it? It is my name. I know how to speak it. I don't need any confirmation from you. You understand? When we know a thing very well and we are very sure of it, then we don't want any, we have no expectations regarding that you should confirm it. Think of this. Think of this. So, what I am trying to say is, when we demand respect, when there is underneath there is a current of what? A doubt about myself. and my qualifications. I'm not sure of them. And so when you tell me, I feel maybe I'm really good. Maybe I'm good. Because I'm not sure. That is why I need that support from you. I need it from you. So there is an underlying current of self-doubt. Maybe, quite possible, that when I was growing up as a child, I was criticized all the time. Maybe, quite possible. In our upbringing, parents sometimes do not know, or there are many such reasons, because of which I did not get that kind of support. And that has been with me. Those samskaras, those impressions, children, all the time sometimes need validation from parents. If they do something, then they want that parents should validate that. And it may not come from parents. So that lack is there. That self-doubt is there. But today, it has become a habit with me. For each and every small thing, I want respect from others, some confirmation from others, some support from others. Only when you support me, when you praise me, then I feel good. Otherwise, I feel I'm not okay. Imagine a life when I'm always in need of this kind of things, support from others. I'm become dependent. Sarvam paravasham dukkham, sarvam atmavasham sukham. For anything where I'm dependent, that you call me, you talk to me, you praise me. I made such good dish and you did not even praise, and we felt, what do we feel? I wish I had not made it. Maybe it was not good. I don't know anything. It was all okay, but he was not in mood to praise. He liked it very much, enjoyed it very much, but he was not in that mood. Maybe something happened in the office. Maybe his boss told him something. So even though he liked the dish, he is not in the mood to express. We do not know the reasons why others are not coming up with all kinds of praises and respect. We don't know. They have their own problems. People have problems, their own problems. They may not be in mood. They may have some problem inside of their own pride, of their own ego. Because when you praise someone, what happens? Maybe I'm not that great. So, just because they are not praising, just because they are not expressing their respect, doesn't mean that I am not good enough. Doesn't mean that. But we immediately conclude. What do we conclude? I must not be good. My lecture must not be good today. My this must not be good. Maybe I did not do well. That is why Mummy did not say anything. People did not respect me. No, it's not like that. It may be fine, but they have their own problems, own reasons. So never judge yourself by what you come across from others. Never make a judgment about yourself. You know yourself very well. And just because others are not respecting, that doesn't mean that you are lacking. For instance, let me tell you that when you go to the mountains and valleys, etc., there are so many beautiful flowers, bushes, and so wonderful things are there. Who is going and respecting them? Who is going and praising those flowers, etc.? That doesn't mean their beauty is not there. There is valley of flowers in Himalayas. The full valley, is full with different kinds of flowers. We are not going every day and watching that. That doesn't mean those flowers are not beautiful and majestic. It doesn't mean that. They are blossoming, filling up the environment with their presence. Just because others don't respect you, that doesn't mean that you don't have something. But if we wait for others' respect to feel good about ourselves, then we have lost it. Then we have become dependent. And then there will be a smile on our face and we will be happy only when it comes from you, only when you respect me. So understand how much problem this demand for respect creates. My mind will always be in problem. Then what happens when I sit for meditation? Tell me. Then when we sit for meditation, my mind will meditate upon what? Now see, this fellow did not respect me. Next time when it is my turn, I will also do the same. I will also do it. So mind is planning all this, and in all the while pondering over why it happened like that. Something goes on pinching all the time, and the list is very long. There is not just one person like this. There are many such people. The list is very long, and these wounds that are there inside, they don't get healed ever. We never forget such things, Even after certain years have passed, we remember, when I came to your place, you did like this, and you did like that. Year after years also, these things don't go. You constantly nurse that wound. Constantly that wound which is there is nursed by you, which means the mind is wounded. It has not healed in all these years. Really, sometimes people talk like this, Now they've grown up, now they are of 60, 70 years of age, but still they remember what happened at the age of 30. And still that sense of revenge is there. That means you have not grown. Only body has grown. Age has taken up with you, but mind has not become mature. Everything is counted, everything is registered. I did not get this, I did not get this, I was not treated like this, I was not given this, elder one was given, younger is not given, I am not. So many such things are going on in the mind. With this kind of a mind, tell me, Ishvara is very far away. Atma Jnanam is very far. Moment you close your eyes, what will come? Only these things. Always you will be hurt. Always sorrowful. Always nursing those hurts. Your relationships also with people will be in problem. You can't be an open person, welcoming everyone, loving everyone. No, that is not possible, because you have your demands of your ego, which are not likely to be met with always. Why always? As I said, more often it will not be met with. And then your happiness depends upon that. So even relationships are at stake because of all this. There is no warmth in that. There is no mutual love in that. Because there are conditions placed. Conditions. If you do this much, if you always put me on a high pedestal, then fine. Otherwise, no. Which behind all this is what? Behind all this is lack of self-esteem for myself. There is no self-esteem, no self-respect. I myself don't respect myself. If I did that, I will not require it from you. When I am standing on firm grounds, I don't need any support. But when I am not standing on firm grounds, I all the while look for support. Please give it to me. Please give it to our hands are always stretched out. So it's nothing but depletion all the way. All our energies get depleted in this manner. There is depletion. We don't realize. Such a mind is not open. It is not free. There are many blocks inside. It is a very heavy mind. Very, very heavy. It is not light. And such a mind is not in present most of the times. It is always thinking about what happened that time, what this fellow did, what that fellow did, and what I will do when we will meet again. I will also not call him. It is hardly in the present to absorb things, to understand. And Vedanta calls for that. Ishvara is everywhere, here and now. Where are you? You are not in the present. You are thinking of something else. So this is what Manitvam does. Manitvam, self-conceit, exaggerated view about oneself. Self-worshipfulness is there. Otherwise, little bit of self-respect is okay. Need for little bit of it is okay. And to tell you the truth, if we know the self, even that should not be there. Atma is already beautiful. Where is the question of self-respect? There is nothing but this Atma which is full and complete. But little bit of it is there, then it doesn't harm. But when it is exaggerated, then there is nothing but loss in it. And now, if we analyze this, if we go deep into this, because the value is amanitvam, that negates manitvam. How do we do that? Now we will talk about how do we do this. Amanitvam. Amanitvam means absence of this self-worshipfulness, absence of this strong demand for self-respect or esteem from others. That is amanitvam. For that, we need to sit back and think, what am I demanding respect for? What is my own? What have I created? For which I am demanding this much respect? Supposing I have some knowledge, say of our scriptures, but have I created that? Are the scriptures written by me? Did I get this knowledge on my own? It has been given. This knowledge has come from the teachers and their teachers and their teachers. Parampara, the whole parampara is there behind it. We did not even know the language. It has been taught by parents, by teachers, by rishis. The whole body of Vedic literature is there. We have not created. We have not done anything in that. It has all just passed on to us. What am I demanding respect for? That my name should be there. That I should be garlanded. I should be done, etc. What for? Everything has been given. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, if we think of all this, our ego will be deflated. He says, Buddhir buddhimatam asmi, tejas tejasvinamaham. Buddhihi buddhimatam. I am the intelligence of the intelligent. There is no ambiguity in these words. Bhagavan clearly says in 10th chapter, while talking about his vibhutis, his glories, he says, I am the intelligence of the intelligent one. So the intelligence of that intelligent one is due to him, whom? Bhagavan says, I am manifesting. It is I who abide in you, and it is because of me that this is coming out. Just as supposing this microphone is able to make this voice loud, magnifies all this. Is it due to itself? Behind this is the power. Behind this is some mechanism inside, because of which this can do. Now supposing microphone has this false conceit or pride, it is due to me. Then it has to be shown that you did not do it. Similarly, whatever we have has been given. Yeah, we may have little bit worked upon it, but knowledge has been given, our skills have been given. Whatever we are today is due to the lot of work which has been done by so many people. I would say the entire creation has their contribution in what we are today. The entire creation, not less than the entire creation, is behind us, and today I am claiming it is mine. Respect me for this. My parents are there, my teachers are there, elements are there, Ishvara is there to cap it all. What am I demanding respect for? Parents brought me up. Today you are in USA. Your parents must have worked for it. They must have prepared. They must have gone without so many things so that you can come here, so that you can be educated. So much of sacrifice is there. And today, I forget all this. I did it. I am CEO. I am such and such. Behind that, you are standing on the shoulders of giants. You are standing on the shoulders of giants. And there are numerous such giants, not one or two. What are you claiming this respect for? It has been given. There is nothing like self-made man. So many people have sacrificed, so many people have worked. As Swamiji says, beautifully, that in one cup of tea which I drink in the morning, the whole creation is behind that. What have I done? Milk is there, sugar is there, tea is there. I did not create all this. And they were this tea, etc., were there in some garden somewhere. We do not even know where it is coming from. So many people have worked behind it, and to enable me to have a cup of tea in the morning. That we can speak well, talk well, write well. Behind that is the work of to begin with my mother. The way she worked so that I can write a syllable. She held my hands, made me hold the pencil, and made me write how many times? The amount of time that she has given, father has given, mother has given, so many. And today, at the end of the day, I speak well, I write well. Look at the foundation. look at the foundation on which you are standing. What are you claiming pride for? Why this pride? Why this demand for respect? On the contrary, give it to them. Be grateful. Be grateful rather than demand respect. Be grateful. See, we forget this. Gratefulness. What? Gratefulness means realizing as to where this is coming from. Time. At the right time, I was at a right place, right opportunity, and I just picked it up. But that behind that, so many things have gone behind all this. Ishvara's, to begin with Ishvara's grace, parents' blessings, teachers' blessings, so many things. Only when I forget all this, only when I don't take into account these factual things, then I can demand respect. This disciple has learnt everything, but from where did you learn all this? Your teacher and his teachers and his teachers. There is this whole line of sampradaya. How can you say this is mine and you respect me for that? You know, there was this person, and there is a story, I will just narrate a story to elucidate this. There was this simple person called Nathalal. His name, he was from Gujarat in a small village, and his name is Nathalal. And one day, he had nothing, you know, he used to just roam about in the village doing nothing. And one day he bought a lottery. And to his good luck, he won it. Now all of a sudden he has become a millionaire. Now earlier nobody would take note of him. Nobody would even look at him. On the contrary, they would laugh at him. But today, now he is a different person. So when he comes out in his car and then people, they respect him, they salute him. How are you, Nathalal sir? And things go on like that, you know. So whoever does that, you know, then he would say, I will tell, I will tell, I will report to whoever. I mean, whenever they would call him, you know, Namaste Nathalal sir, he would reply, I will tell. I will tell him. Tell him means what? I will go and tell the money that it is due to you, that I am getting this respect. It is not mine own. Nobody ever took note of me so far. It is due to that. Similarly, whatever we have is due to certain things. Why do we forget it? Everything has been given. And we are reaping the fruits of that. With this humility, Manitvam will just go. Manitvam will go. If we don't take into account all these things, then there can be that pride. I have done it. It is my creation. I made this house. I made this money. I have become someone in USA, this, etc. But if we go a little bit behind, reduce all this to its foundations, then Manitvam will just go like that. That is called Amanitvam. And I will become humble. When I am grateful for what I have got, and I assign it to where it comes from, then Amanitvam will automatically be there. Gratefulness, humility. And then what? My mind is free. Otherwise, when I demanded respect, all the time there were certain needs, demands. And now, fine, whether you respect or not, whether it comes forth from you or not. It is fine, because I know who I am. I am confident. So respect yourself. Once you do that, you don't need it from others. And for Vedantis, it should become very simple. Why? Because what is the basis? What is the nutshell of Vedanta? You are already what you are seeking. Tattvamasi, you are that. If I am already full, if I am already adequate, then what? I don't need all this. The very need, in the very need for respect, I am denying myself. In the very need or demand for respect, I am denying myself. Which self? The Atma, which is already full and complete. I am denying that. Only when I deny that, only when I don't own up that, then I need it from you. But if I own up myself, I am already full and complete. But I don't need all this from others. So in this manner, we become humble, and that is how this demand for mana will go. And real greatness is where, rather than demanding, you give it to others. This is the best way. If you are familiar with Vishnu Sahasranama, then you will come across two words. Aman, for Bhagavan, he has 1,000 names. One of the two names are Amani Manadaha. What is Bhagavan? Amani, he doesn't demand respect from anyone, but Manadaha, he gives mana to others. If we see Lord Krishna in Mahabharata, what do we find? He respected everyone. In the you must be knowing about that incident when Yudhishthira had organized that Rajasuya Yajna. That time everybody was present, all great kings and everyone. And when everybody sat for lunch, Lord Krishna himself was out to serve them, and he washed the feet of all the Brahmins and took up their plates after they had finished the lunch. Now he is the king, he himself is Ishvara of 3 worlds. Why should he do all this? All of you all the time pray to me, join your hands. Why should I do to you? But since he knows who he is, abides in his reality very well, and that is why he doesn't need it anymore. On the contrary, he gives it to others. If you see Lord Rama in the same manner, in Ramayana or Ramcharitamanas, we find him respecting all the rishis, everyone. Why? In fact, I can give what I have. If I respect myself, means then when that thing I have, then I can give it to you. If I have money, I can give it to you. Similarly, if I am sure of myself, then I can give it to you. See why people are not able to respect others. Why something is blocking them. Even if somebody is really great, qualified, but still we will not go and praise them. Why? Because that narrow-mindedness is there. I will become small if I respect them. Think of this. That respect for others, an expression of it doesn't come forward because when I respect, when I praise you, I become small if I'm not sure of myself. But when I'm very sure and confident of myself, it is very easy to respect others. Manadaha, give mana to others. Kabirji says, he says very well, which is the greatest of Danam. There he says, Hemadana, Gajadana, Sabso Bado He Manadana. Hema means giving gold. Gaja, elephants. In those days they used to distribute this kind of things. But which is the biggest of Danam? Manadana. Respect others. Make them feel good about themselves. You don't demand. On your side, you don't demand. But don't be stingy in giving it to others. And when you give it to others, you get it back. This is the law. When you give it, you are going to get it. We should not give because we get it. Not with that desire. And that, I will give it. So I will get it. No. But I am so big that it doesn't matter to me. Who can be generous? Their hearts are very large and magnanimous. Only they can be generous. Otherwise, it is very difficult to part with anything. But here, you become Mahatma. Who can become Mahatma? Whose Atma is very big, which accommodates everyone. We see Lord Rama, embracing even those tribals. When he went to forest, the Nishadaraj was surprised. Lord Rama had no problem in embracing. Who? Nishada. Where is Nishada? And where is Rama? He is the king of Ayodhya. He is the prince. Had no problem at all. Why? Because he is in no way diminished. On the contrary, he made friendship with all of them. Hanumanji. Who is Hanumanji? Who is he? Still, Bhagavan embraced him. No problem at all. See, when I am confident of myself, I have no problems. When I respect myself, I have no problem in giving it to you. But when I don't have it myself, I don't respect myself, then I'm not able to distribute that. In short, this manitvam is nothing but self-depletion game. So, with this kind of mind, we just cannot be happy in this life, and not to talk about the knowledge of the self. Self is far away. Even when we are doing Shravanam, we want the teacher also to respect us. He did not call me. He did not look at me. He talks to others, not to me. All kinds of problems are there. Why? Because here the wound is there. Here the need is there, so strong. So strong. But I am the loser. Every time I demand respect, I am the loser. So, I give up that. And give up by what? As we discussed, be humble. Rather than demanding, you give. Rather than demanding, be sure of yourself. Amani manadaha. So, manitvam becomes a big problem. It is a biggest of hurdle in this sadhana. In this journey, the biggest of hurdle is manitvam. And people who are little bit educated, those who have gained something in life, they are all the more demanding. Simple people have no such problem. But educated people, and in Vedanta, people who come are very, very educated. They are very intelligent. So this problem is there. It is not without reason that Bhagavan is talking about this manitvam first. Why should he talk about this first of all the values? He is not talking about other things first. This one is first, because this is the biggest of problem. In all our relations with parents, with wife, husband, spouse, even with teacher and student, this can be the problem. That is why this mind cannot proceed further. So, amanitvam, negate this. A is for negating. be humble, be grateful, be grateful. Realize what all has come to you rather than claiming it as my own. Understand that it has been given. Thank God I got it. I have this Ishvara's blessings, parents' blessings. Parents gave it to me, teachers gave it to me, Ishvara has been kind. I return it now. I return it. Rather than hoarding it and demanding it. Okay? So this manitvam. This is we gave some more time to this because this is the most important value. From tomorrow we will take up other values. They may not take that much time, but this one was very important. So we'll conclude with this. Om Purnamataః Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavad Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.